Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. It's Mrs. Garibaldi and I am here with your writing lesson for today. So today's writing prompt was to write about something that you're reading independently. And so something that I have been really enjoying lately is a website called Books, and we're going to start adding that into some of our reading lessons. And today, actually at the end of this lesson, I will play for you actually the book that I'm going to write about today. So if you want to stick around, you can listen to that book on Books. I'm going to attach it to the end of this, or I'm going to play it. I'll share screen and I'll play it at the end of this lesson. Okay, so first, I'm going to do my writing lesson though. So I'm going to share my screen with you and I want you to follow along as I model my writing today. Here we go. So I went ahead, of course, and I sketched and labeled my picture already. That helps us save a little bit of time here because I know you guys don't need to watch me sketch and label. So I have a sketch of a hermit crab. And so the book that I have been reading is by Eric Carle, and it's called A House for Hermit Crab. Okay, so A House for Hermit Crab is the book that I'm going to be writing about today that I've been reading independently. And so here is my hermit crab, and this is, sorry friends, let's see if I can maybe, there we go, maybe that'll help. So this is the old little shell, and this is the plain new shell that he finds for his new home. So I'm going to write maybe I'll say the title of the book I'm reading is, that's how I'm going to start my reading today. The title, and we've got to put an E at the end because that I says its own name, title. The title of the book, the title of the book I am reading, E. So what makes the E? The reading. The title of the book I am reading is and you know what? I have the book right here, so I'm going to copy the title off of the book. I want you guys to maybe do the same thing. So whatever book that you're reading at home, you can copy the title so that you can spell it correctly. And remember, names of books and names of people and names in general are capitalized. A house for hermit crab. And I don't know if I can fit hermit in there. Let's see. Yep, crab. By, and this is by Eric, and that's his name, Eric Carle. Okay, so let me read what I have so far. The title of the book I am reading is A House for Hermit Crab by Eric Carle. Now, here's something special about book titles. When you write about book titles, you can underline them. You underline them. So I'm going to underline that book title. So then your reader knows that that's the book that you're reading. So the title of the book I'm reading is A House for Hermit Crab by Eric Carle. It is about, O-U-T, get out of here, you bumblebee. All right, so it is about a hermit crab, of course. Hermit crab that outgrows, oh boy, out. Hey, O-U-T, get out of here, you bumblebee. So outgrows, outgrows his shell but when so WH are those question words, those so when, but when he finds just the, I'm going to say just the right size shell. Okay, so just the right, and I need to put an E at the end to make that I say its own name. Okay, you know what I just realized, you guys? One of our hunks and chunks is I. Do you remember? I-G-H, I-G-H, I. Don't forget the T, I, because that would be right. Oh boy, I did that wrong. Here we go. So R and then I-G-H, I-G-H, I. Don't forget the T, ite. Okay, so, but when he finds just the right size shell, but let me go back and reread. You know what? Sometimes when we lose our place, we need to go back and reread. The title of the book I am reading is A House for Hermit Crab by Eric Carle. It is about a hermit crab that outgrows his shell, but when he finds just the right size shell, I'm going to cross that out because I don't want that one. It is too, it is too plain, A-I-A-A, like rain, remember? Plain. It is too plain. All right, so when he finds just the right size shell, it is too plain. He asks other sea animals to help him decorate. Oh boy. Or 8. And what makes the A say its own E? An E. So he asked other sea animals to help him decorate it. All right, and that's all I'm gonna write because I hope you stick around and watch the whole story because it's so good. All right, so that is my writing for today, but I'm not gonna give away the ending. All right, so let me reread what I wrote because good writers always reread, so then they know that everything looks right, sounds right, makes sense, and that your readers will be able to read it really easily. Here we go. The title of the book I am reading is A House for Hermit Crab by Eric Carle. It is about a hermit crab that outgrows his shell, but when he finds just the right size shell, it is too plain. He asks other sea animals to help him decorate it. Alrighty, so that is my writing for today. If you don't want to listen to the story, A House for Hermit Crab, you can go ahead and get started on your writing. If you do, stick around and let's listen to Eric Carle's A House for Hermit Crab. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. Alrighty, here we go, you guys. Let me make it big. I like to make the books really big. Perfect. Let's go.
A House for Hermit Crab by Eric Carle. Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this little shell. He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me? He thought. I must find a new house soon. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside it to see how it felt. It felt just right. But it looks so, well, so plain, thought Hermit Crab. March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. "How beautiful you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? It is so plain. It needs you." "I'll come," whispered a small sea anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his shell. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish moving slowly along the sea floor. "How handsome you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to decorate my house?" "I would," signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. "How pretty you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful?" "I would," creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris, and leaving a neat path behind them. "How tidy and hard-working you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house?" "I would," offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. "How fierce you look," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to protect my house?" "I would," answered a spiky sea urchin. Gratefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his shell. In August, Hermit Crab and his friends wandered into a forest of seaweed. "It's so dark here," thought Hermit Crab. "How dim it is," murmured the sea anemone. "How gloomy it is," whispered the starfish. "How murky it is," complained the coral. "I can't see," said the snail. "It's like nighttime," cried the sea urchin. In September, Hermit Crab spotted a school of lanternfish darting through the dark water. "How bright you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to light up our house?" "I would," replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. In October, Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. "How sturdy you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would you mind if I rearranged you?" "Not at all," answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. "Now my house is perfect," cheered Hermit Crab. But in November, Hermit Crab felt that his shell seemed a bit too small. Little by little, over the year, Hermit Crab had grown. Soon he would have to find another, bigger home. But he had come to love his friends, the sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. "They have been so good to me," thought Hermit Crab. "They are like a family. How can I ever leave them?" In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. I have outgrown my shell, she said. Would you know of a place for me? I have outgrown my house too, answered Hermit Crab. I must move on. You are welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends. I promise, said the little crab. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. Couldn't stay in that little shell forever, said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but Hermit Crab wasn't afraid. Soon, he spied the perfect house, a big, empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain, but sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started.
I just love that story so much, and I hope you enjoyed it too. All right, so now it is time for you to get your writing done. So I want to hear all about the story that you're reading for independent reading time. I wish you well. I love you. I miss you, and I hope to see you at my next live lesson. Have a great day. Goodbye, guys.